Agenda of today's session. First point which we'll discuss in today's session is about the prerequisite to understand Bhagavad Gita. Then we'll do a quick recap of the points or the verses which are already completed in the last few sessions, chapter 1. And we'll start the new verses of chapter 2. We'll spend some time for the meditation, mantra meditation. At last, we'll have Q&A session. So the first point during our agenda is about the prerequisite. So you will notice that in every session we begin by repeating the same prerequisite again and again because these prerequisites are very important to understand Bhagavad Gita in a right way, in a right perspective. And as it is mentioned psychologically also, when we repeat something, it becomes easy for us to remember. And when we repeat something, it means something very important. So if it is something very important, it has to be repeated again and again. When you do these things repetition, it becomes easy for us to remember that point. First prerequisite to understand Bhagavad Gita to accept Lord Krishna as Supreme Personality Godhead. Maybe at beginning we don't have that much faith or fully we don't accept Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality Godhead, but at least theoretically we all should accept Krishna is the Supreme Personality Godhead. Lord beautiful form. Second prerequisite, become devotee of Lord Krishna to understand Bhagavad Gita in a right way. When we say become devotee of Lord Krishna, it means have some devotion toward Lord Krishna. It means attend Bhagavad Gita sessions regularly, so that you are giving a endeavor to understand Bhagavad Gita and the Lord instructions. Try to listen, understand Bhagavad Gita, apply those principles in your daily life. Read and reflect a few verses on the Bhagavad Gita daily. So after this Sunday session also during the weekdays, try to revise the areas or the topics which you have discussed on the Sunday sessions. If you have any questions, you can contact us. Third, meditation. When you talk about meditation, meditation has a very positive effect on your mind and the senses, by which meditation you can have a better control in your mind. So meditation is mantra meditation. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We are going to spend some time at the end of the session. Devotee association. So it is a nice way to talk to devotees and share your understanding. Whatever we are going to discuss in today's sessions, share your understanding, reflections, and the topics which we covered on the Sunday session and take guidance from them or clarify your doubts. Second point to discuss in our today's agenda is recap of chapter 1. In chapter 1, we have seen Arjuna looks around and sees own relatives, elders, teachers, and friends on the both sides of the battlefield. And before start of the war, then he gave four reasons. What are the four reasons not to fight? One is compassion. Second is no enjoyment even if victorious. Third is fear of sinful reactions. Destruction of family traditions. So he gave all four reasons. So if you note, all these four reasons are all the good qualities which Arjuna has which exhibited before start of the war. So he was not just thinking about himself, his selfish motive, but he is focusing on others as well. So what is the consequence of this war? Whether others will benefit from this war or not? And because of this confusion, ultimately went into emotional collapse. And then the chapter ends without any conclusion. Key learning. So, chapter 1 has 46 verses. So, we have covered all the 46 verses. Then, as per our agenda, we have discussed on the key learnings of chapter 1. So, two key learnings which we have learned in chapter 1. One is about devotee, all good qualities like Arjuna. So when we say devotee means we all should try to become a devotee of Lord Krishna. When we say devotee means accept Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality Godhead. Try to follow his instructions and the devotional practices. Because when you talk about devotional practices, it helps you to develop all the good qualities in yourself. Like Arjuna, you'll inherit all the good qualities which you expect in a person. Some common good qualities which you expect in any person, like kindness, patience, honesty, humility. So if you become a devotee of Lord Krishna, automatically all these good qualities like Arjuna will start in you also. Second, about the God consciousness, the second learning which you have learned in chapter 1. When you talk about God consciousness, God is Krishna, so it means Krishna consciousness. It means always being aware of Krishna in your life. You are trying hard to follow the instructions of Lord Krishna as it is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Also, trying to follow the rules and regulations as given in the Bhagavad Gita. And whenever in life you're in doubt, you're in confusion, like Arjuna, you're turning down to Krishna and his teachings. That is become God consciousness. So, two key learnings, takeaways from chapter 1 of the 46 verses is become devotee of Lord Krishna. And second, always be God consciousness, means Krishna consciousness. Chapter 2, contents of Gita summarized. In last session, we have a very detailed discussion about who is Supreme Lord. So, quick reflection of the topics which are covered in last session. Who is Supreme Lord and why? So, as we have already covered in detail in last session, I request all of you, if you want to contribute, share your reflections. Who is Supreme Lord and why he is Supreme Lord? Maybe you can go to the chat box, you can raise your hand, you can unmute yourself and share your thoughts and answers on this question. Lakshman Prabhu, any hands raised?
Yes, Prabhu. Jaswant Pabati.
Okay. Yeah, please go on. You can unmute
Uh,
yourself.
Prabhuji, can I speak?
Yeah, yeah, Prabhu.
God has all qualities of
Hmm.
60 is called the Supreme Godhead. Compared to
Okay.
other gods, uh, Krishna has more than qualities. All
Okay, good.
gods.
Okay.
Um, Lord Vishnu has 60 qualities. Lord Brahma has 55.
Okay.
Uh, Lord Shiva has about 50, around.
Hmm.
That's why he is considered as Supreme God. He is considered by the Lord Ramanujacharya, Srila Prabhupada, and also mentioned in Brahma Vaivartana Purana.
Okay. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu, for sharing your points. Anyone else? Don't hesitate. Please share your understanding, your thoughts on this. You can go in the chat box also. You can type your answers. So in the chat box, I could see two, three answers. Lord Krishna 64 qualities, correct. Supreme God is Lord Krishna has 64 gunas, correct. Krishna is Supreme Lord because it has been accepted by all gurus, acharyas, and in Gita, Lord Krishna said himself is God. He has all the 64 qualities. Okay. Thank you everyone for sharing your answers. Anyone else before we move on this?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Your
The
name,
Krishna
please, Prabhu.
having special qualities like wealth, strength,
Very nice.
beauty, knowledge.
Very nice.
Only Krishna having all these qualities. Because of his
Correct.
became because of these qualities, he became a supreme Godhead.
Correct. Correct. Very good point you have raised, Prabhu. In terms of all the six qualities that is in fullest that exists only with Lord Krishna.
Yes.
So 2.2, we have discussed in detail about who is Supreme Lord and why is Supreme Lord. The definition of Supreme Lord is given by Parashar Muni. He is father of Vyasadeva, the great authority, who was Vyasadeva has written most of the scriptures. So he is the father of Vyasadeva. He has given the definition of Bhagwan. Definition of Bhagwan is Bhaga and Van. Bhaga means opulences and Van means possesses. So anyone who possesses all these six qualities, that to the fullest, he should be considered as Lord. And what are these six qualities? Wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. It means that person has no comparison with any other person in terms of all these six qualities. That is the fullest. So
Fame
Lord
means
Krishna,
fame. Fame
sorry,
means Prabhuji. Fame.
yeah, fame is popularity, bro. He is very famous.
Okay.
Yeah,
Popularity. Okay.
popular. So all the six opulences has been exhibited by Lord Krishna in terms of beauty, in terms of
Hare Krishna,
knowledge,
Prabhu.
fame, wealth, strength, and
Prabhu, we
renunciation.
are not able to hear you.
Can you hear me, Prabhu, now? Hare Krishna. Can
Your voice
someone
is not
confirm if
audible,
you can
Prabhu.
hear me? Is I am audible?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for
No,
confirming.
Prabhu.
Okay. So all these six qualities, it was shown by Lord Krishna, that is the fullness in terms of beauty, in terms of knowledge, fame, wealth, strength, and renunciation. Brahma Samhita, the text which was written by Brahmaji, who is the creator of this universe, he said, Krishna is the cause of all causes. He is the primal cause, and he is a very form eternity in knowledge and bliss. All the great acharyas, Madhvacharya ji, Ramanacharya ji, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they all have confirmed that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. In terms of divine qualities, Lord Brahma has 50 qualities, Lord Shiva 55, Lord Vishnu 60 qualities, Lord Krishna all 64 qualities. It means Lord Krishna is described as having 64 divine qualities that represent his perfect spiritual attributes. So Lord Krishna possesses these qualities highest and fullest. And of the four qualities which is unique in Lord Krishna compared to Lord Vishnu is Leela Madhuri, Veena Madhuri, Bhakta Madhuri, and Rupa Madhuri. Then various scripture proofs we have seen in terms of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. So Lord Krishna again and again in the scriptures is mentioned as the Supreme Lord. And it is accepted by all the Lord devotees also. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna is to Bhagwan same. Krishna is the Bhagwan himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, 10th chapter, again Krishna is proclaiming himself, I am the Supreme Lord. Again, Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 2nd chapter, 26th verse, the demigod prays to baby Krishna, accept him as the supreme truth beyond Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And Brahmaji say, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Krishna is the supreme controller of all other are his subordinates. Hence, Krishna is accepted as the supreme personality of Godhead. Now, classroom discussion. Some common misconceptions which we have discussed in detail about the incarnation, whether Lord Krishna is the incarnation of Lord Vishnu or Lord Vishnu is the incarnation of Lord Krishna. Or if I put this question, if Lord Krishna is the incarnation of Lord Vishnu, yes or no, and why? Anyone wants to share on this? You can unmute yourself or you can put in the chat box also.
Lord Vishnu is incarnation of Sri Lord Krishna.
Why?
Why Vishnu, Brahma, Maheshwar? They are this from Krishna only.
Any other point to justify your yes? Okay, anyone else? Whether Lord Krishna is incarnation of Lord Vishnu? Yes or no?
Yes,
No.
Prabhuji.
Sorry, you can go one by one and you
Yes.
reason also
Yes.
because we have discussed in detail. Why? Based on the logic, based on the justification. It's not that I'm telling you, so you have to accept. In Chat box, I could see no, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. That is correct. But why? We have given some reasons, justification from the scriptures. Krishna birth and life, full the divine purpose, Vishnu is sent to earth when evil prevails, there is some test like now. Okay, good. Anything, any other points?
Uh, okay.
Lord Krishna is one of the avatar of Lord Vishnu, and
Okay. Why? Why you think like this,
Uh,
Mataji?
Vishnu is Purushottam,
Hmm.
Lord Krishna is Purna Purushottam.
Correct. Thanks, Prabhu. Any other
can I
points?
say one?
Please, mention your name and then you can speak.
Prabhuji, my name is
Yeah.
Jashwant.
Okay.
Uh, um, Mahabharata scriptures like mention that goddess Earth goes to Lord Vishnu to pray. The earth is full of sinful people. Please come to
Mhm.
the earth and clear the all sinful people and re-establish the righteousness. That's why Lord may come to the earth as Lord Krishna mentioned in that Mahabharata starting.
Okay. 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 Thank you. But any specific points which we have discussed in the last session? I hope you all have attended our last session. So I've given a lot of points in that to justify this point. Why Lord Krishna is supreme and Lord Vishnu is incarnation of Lord Krishna. I think in the text, in the chat box, I could say someone is saying Lord Krishna is incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Yes. Please give the reason whosoever is saying yes. Why you're saying yes? Sri Krishna is the eighth avatar of Lord Vishnu. Okay. Any other points? Okay. So let's see. In last session, we have discussed in detail about some common misconceptions which we generally see among people in the society, like incarnation wise, whether Lord Krishna is incarnation of Lord Vishnu or Lord Vishnu is incarnation of Lord Krishna. Then we have discussed on who is the Supreme Lord. Many times people say, some scripture says Lord Shiva is the Supreme Lord, or Devi Durga is the Supreme Lord, or Lord Ganesha is the Supreme Lord. Or we have discussed this point. What about the other demigods like Suryadev, Agni, Indra, and all those? So I will not going to discuss in detail again. I will just cover in very quick way. Incarnation, Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu. Lord Krishna again in all our scriptures it is mentioned as Krishna's to Bhagwan Swam. So Lord Krishna is the original supreme personality Godhead. When he says supreme means highest, topmost. Personality means Lord Krishna has a personal form, like we have a form. He has two hands, legs, and he has his family members, his mother, father, his friends are there. And personality of Godhead means he is the head of all the gods. That's why Lord Krishna is referred as Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he is a person and head of all the gods. And Lord Krishna is a personal form, human-like form, like us. Lord Vishnu, it is mentioned in the scripture, he is the most powerful expansion of Lord Krishna. So when Lord wants to take the role of this cosmic creation, maintenance and preservation, the entire universe, he takes or he expands himself into Lord Vishnu. So he takes the incarnation of Lord Vishnu. So both Lord Krishna and Lord Vishnu have forms, but they have different forms and their roles are also different. Then we try to understand in more detail with the help of an example. Suppose a big organization is there. In the big organization, we always have a chairman, we have a department heads, we have the CEO also there. So chairman is considered the supreme controller, and he is responsible for taking all the major decisions. But he never get into all the day-to-day operations of the business. That is always managed by the chief executive officer, CEO. So chairman doesn't need to do every task personally. For that, he has appointed CEO who runs the company on a daily basis. But everything happens under the control of chairman. Similarly, Krishna is like the company chairman, company owner, and Vishnu is like the chief executive officers. Both are very powerful, but ultimately, CEO or other department heads, they all are subordinate to chairman. So Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, both are divine, but Krishna is the ultimate source of everything, even of Lord Vishnu. Second, who is Supreme Lord? Because different scriptures speaks differently. Because you see, in this universe, we are different type of people, and different type of people means their interests are different, their choices are different, their approach or their intention to contact God or to come into spirituality for development. This all needs are different. So that's why in different scriptures has mentioned about different lords and mentioned as they are the supreme lord. So these are not the contradictions but a gradual elevation, because when we discuss on chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita, in this Lord Krishna says they are the elevation, these are the elevation ladders in terms of spiritual advancement. So different people at different level of spiritual advancement, based on that they consider that form as the supreme lord. So some people who are at particular level, they consider or they get attracted to Lord Shiva. So they consider Lord Shiva the supreme Lord. But I think this is a spiritual elevation process. So slowly, it is mentioned in the scriptures. You will come to Lord Vishnu. You will accept. You will understand, and you start worshipping Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna as the supreme Lord.
Huh?
Third, we have discussed who are the demigods. What about the other demigods? Others, please go on mute, please. So, what about the other demigods? So, demigods are considered as the department heads of an organization. They are also powerful beings, but again they are created by Supreme Lord Krishna, and they are under the control of Supreme Lord. So they are getting all the powers from the Supreme Lord only to maintain this universe. So ultimately, these demigods or Lord Shiva, they are the powerful people, but they are finally appointed by Supreme Lord Sri Krishna to maintain this universe. So they are not the ultimate God, but they act as a managers of different cosmic functions to run this universe in a very nice way. So let's start our new verses in these sessions. So lesson would be Guru. Why Guru is an absolute need for a spiritual guide. Verse 2.7. कार्पण्य दोषोपहत स्वभाव पृच्छामि त्वाम धर्म समुदचेतः यशेर्यतां निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यास्तेऽहं साधिमां त्वा प्रापणम्. Anyone wants to try to recite this verse? You can unmute yourself.
न हि प्रपश्यामि ममापनुच्चामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेता यश्रेयस्सान्निहितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं साधि स्वां मां प्रपन्नम्.
Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone from Mataji's side wants to try?
कार्पण्यदोषपथस्वभावः पचामि त्वं धर्मसमुदचेतः यक्षेत्रस्य निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यास्ते हम सति मां त्वं प्रपन्नम्.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So, translation. Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of this miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to please tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrender unto you. Please instruct me. So who is telling here? That is Arjuna. To whom? Lord Krishna. So this verse 2.7 is considered a turning point in Bhagavad Gita. So if you have noticed in chapter 1, Arjuna is the master. He was giving directions to Lord Krishna to take my chariot this place, that place. But now, from now onwards, Krishna is becoming a servant and he is accepting Lord Krishna as his master. So now in chapter 2, that position has been reversed. And he is talking about dharma. Please tell me what is my dharma. Dharma means prescribed duty. What is my prescribed duty I should do? So Prabhupada writes in the purport, by nature, own way, the complete system of material activity is a source of perplexity for everyone. So, in chapter 1 and till this verse, you have found Arjuna is always in confused state, perplexed. He is not able to take a call, what I should do. So, Prabhupada further writes, in every step there is perplexity, and therefore it behooves one to approach a bona fide spiritual master who can give one proper guidance for executing the purpose of life. All Vedic literatures advise us to approach a bona fide spiritual master to get free from the perplexities of life which happens without our desire. So perplexities means confusion. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, like Arjuna, we all in today's world are also confused. But our irony is that we think we are not. That is the main problem. So further, 2.7, this is very important verse of Bhagavad Gita, and it is mentioned as a turning point on Bhagavad Gita because Arjuna here talking about dharma and confusion and karpanya. Karpanya means miserly and dosha means fault. So when one does not act according to his position, to his duty, it is considered as a fault, and that person is called as miser. Also, Arjuna knows that I am a Kshatri, I am a king. So by refusing not to fight, I am doing something wrong because the dharma of a Kshatri that he should be always active because whenever there is a fight, he must be very enthusiastic to fight and win the battles. But here, Arjuna is admitting as a Kshatri, I am forgetting my natural duty. And what is natural duty? To fight and win the wars. Therefore, I have become miser. I am not fulfilling my duty. That's why I become miser. And when you become miser, it means you are not in a normal condition. You are in a disease condition. Then Arjuna is posing this question to Lord Krishna. I'm in a disease condition, so and I am not able to take a call. What I should do? What is my duty? Then please guide me. What decision I should take? Similarly, like when we are diseased, you go to a doctor for treatment. Similarly, Arjuna is saying, I'm diseased because of this material attachment. So, Lord Krishna, you've been my doctor. I have come to you. Please give me proper treatment. Similarly, when we become too attached to this body only and family, it's like a disease condition which we found in today's world. Mostly everyone thinks life is only about the responsibility duty towards the family. So it is a disease condition. And in disease condition, it needs treatment. And who can give you treatment? You have to contact a person who has spiritual knowledge, or you should refer the scriptures because it is disease and it needs treatment. So we should approach a superior person. And who can be a superior person? It means Krishna. And it is mentioned Krishami Tvam. So you should approach Krishna or his representative and you should ask the questions. And then Dharma Samudra Chetaha. Dharma Chetaha means I'm confused about my dharma duty. Then Yashcherya Sam. Yashcherya means what is the goal of life? Nishitam Bruhitan me means please tell me that uh, I'm confused in this state. So please tell me what is good for me, what is the purpose of life, and why that superior person should tell you about the goal of life because Shishyas tu aham. It means I accept you as my guru. I become your Shishya. I become your student. Shishyas means whatever you will say should be as per the Shastras. And I will see whether you are following the same, then I will accept. So, Guru will only accept the student when he pass the scripture instructions to him and he will check whether the student is following the same instruction as it is given to you through scriptures or not. So in this verse, Arjuna is ultimately saying, I'm in confused state, I'm in perplexed, so I'm not able to take a call, but whether I should perform at dharma or not to perform at dharma as a king. So Krishna, as a superior person, as a supreme Lord, I'm surrendering unto you. Please guide me. Please tell me what is my actual dharma, real dharma, and what is the purpose of life. And why Lord Krishna should guide Arjuna? Because Arjuna has surrendered unto him. He is approaching Lord Krishna as his student. Like when we started getting the academics, when we started going to school in the first standard or KG school, we always we always surrendered to our teachers and we just took the instructions from them and we start following. Similarly, Arjuna in that same mood, surrendering to Lord Krishna, accepting Lord Krishna as his master. So Arjuna is confused about his duty. As the strongest warrior in Kuru dynasty, his duty was to protect weaker members in family, Kula Dharma. As a king, it is his Kula Dharma. As a Kshatri, his duty was to fight against the irreligion, that is Kshatri Dharma. So he was unable to decide which one to pick. So Arjuna was in confused state, not able to decide whether I should follow my Kula Dharma or Kshatri Dharma. And out of this, which is superior? Arjuna tried to use his intelligence, his knowledge, his experience, but he got more confused. He could not able to take the call. When you talk about Kula Dharma means family duties. It means religious duties, which we generally followed in a particular family. Like we all belong to a particular family. We have specific rituals are there which we follow, specific marriage traditions we follow, and there is respect to our elders, and there Shraddha ceremony which we all do. So these all are related to your Kula Dharma or the traditions or the rituals which you perform as per your family traditions. That is Kula Dharma. And what is Kshatriya Dharma? So Kula Dharma is more towards the personal Dharma. I belong to particular caste, I belong to particular religion, so I perform these rituals. That is my personal Dharma about a Kshatri Dharma. So each person, like us, we have a personal life, we have a professional life. Professional life could be like working life, business life, any other life. Similarly, for a king like Arjuna, he has a personal dharma that is again that responsible towards his family. And as a king, he is a Kshatri dharma. What is Kshatri dharma? To fight for the justice and to protect the citizens of his kingdom, maintain law and order. So that is Kshatri dharma. So when he saw all his family members came with whom he has to fight and kill them to win this war, he is not able to take a call whether I should give priority to my family duties or my Kshatriya duties. Quite normal in many times day-to-day life also, be in a particular position in a professionally, even we have to take a call whether I should follow my personal dharma or my professional dharma. So, in this confused state of mind, he turns to Krishna and surrender into him and seek his advice. Then, what he did, Arjuna qualification was that he turned to Krishna and he didn't just act on his own mind. Like many times, which we do, instead of surrendering to some superior authority, we always try to figuring out the solution by ourselves. And only after surrender did Krishna instruct Arjuna. Because if you see in first chapter, Arjuna never surrendered to Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna never spoke. So Lord Krishna only started giving instructions or started giving guidance to Arjuna when he surrendered to Lord Krishna. Similarly, to get proper guidance from the Bhagavad Gita, we all have to surrender to Lord Krishna in his teaching. And what is the best way? To become his devotee, accept Lord Krishna's supreme personality God and start following his instructions. Then Lord Krishna said, you should follow your dharma. Lord said, you should follow your dharma. So Lord is saying you should follow dharma means you should follow your Kshatri dharma. Lord is saying you Kshatri dharma must be followed even if it conflicts your Kula dharma. So Lord is showing him the direction, giving a guidance. Out of these two, you should follow your Kshatri dharma. So like each of us, we have a Kula dharma, we have a Kshatri dharma. In the scriptures, it is mentioned as we also have one more the most important dharma is the supreme dharma. And what is the supreme dharma is surrender to Krishna, become his devotee, worship Lord Krishna. So this supreme dharma is clearly mentioned in chapter 18 of Bhagavad Gita. Sarva dharman parityajya. Lord Krishna says the supreme dharma for all the living entities is to ultimately to surrender to him. So you can clearly overcome your Kula dharma also, Kshatri dharma also. That becomes your real dharma. That is supreme dharma. Supreme dharma means surrender to Krishna. Fourth, we should do the same, following footsteps of Arjuna. So, in our day-to-day life, also many times we are confused, not able to take any call whether I should follow this path or that path. What we should do, we should follow the footsteps of Arjuna. We should try to take the guidance from Lord's and in teachings in Bhagavad Gita. So quite often we also feel the same dilemma in our day-to-day life. We should also do the same in confused state. So we should approach a higher authority or representative of Krishna who knows the Lord Krishna instructions. They themselves are following in their life and they can guide us. Then you take advice based on the scriptures. So when you approach that person, spiritual person, guru, you should ask questions. You should listen attentively and you should act according to the instructions and not your own whims and fancies. Like in Bhagavad Gita sessions, we all are coming together. We are getting knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, so we should listen very attentively. We should ask questions. We should participate in the classroom discussion. That is the only way you can clear doubts. Otherwise, what happened? You may come every Sunday, start attending the sessions, but there will be no change in your life. You will remain the same person. So I hope you all giving some amount of time on Sunday. So you want some benefit from this. So kindly you have to follow the footsteps of Arjuna. Like ask questions, listen attentively, and ultimately, when you talk about the objective of this session, not just the theoretical knowledge, practical knowledge. So, whatever instructions you are getting from each chapter verses, like in chapter one, we talk about devotee, God consciousness. It's not like that you hear from, you just listen from one here and you just forget it. No, you should act on that instructions, not based on your own whims and fancies. Example, like Arjuna, when you have become diseased, what you do, you go to a doctor, you ask him, you follow his prescriptions, and then you get cured very soon. Similarly, we all have this material disease, attachment to family, everything is a topmost dharma. No, scripture says that topmost dharma is follow the instruction of Lord Krishna. So once you know the instructions, start following those instructions in your life. Then there will be some positive. When you come John also pass like only there will be no benefit. Yeah. In this verse, Arjuna is talking about two dharmas, Kula dharma and my Kshatri dharma. Now in scriptures, it is mentioned as a Paro dharma for humanity. What is the supreme dharma for all the living beings? It is mentioned the supreme dharma of the supreme occupational dharma for all humanity is that by which man can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendental Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. So this is a verse from Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text 6. So it mentioned about work topmost dharma for all the human beings. So we all have material duties to perform as a student, as a professional, as a businessman, or as a housewife, as a retired. But we should never forget that the supreme duty of all the living beings is to devotional service to Lord Krishna. So it doesn't mean that you have to abandon, you have to leave all the material duties. No, you have to perform all our material duties as it is in a very nice way. But you should never forget that besides that material duty, you have some supreme other duty also towards Lord, becoming his devotee, performing the devotional service. Therefore, regardless of one position in your life, whether whatever position in your life, whatever busy you are in life, you should always set aside some time every day for performing this devotional service from bhakti. And how you can perform this bhakti? Every day, remove some time to read Bhagavad Gita, to discuss on the points which we have discussed in the last sessions. Come up with your notes, make notes, ask questions, any clarifications you want to, and have some comments, share with us. And also do regularly try to remove some time and do this mantra meditation as well also, because mantra meditation is a way by which you can connect to Lord in a more direct way. So every day we should make a habit to remove some time from busy schedule, irrespective of your capacity. Like it could be 5 minutes for someone, it could be half an hour for someone. But the more you give, the better it is. So try to read Bhagavad Gita, chant holy name, and try to connect to devotees and take guidance from them. So, like Arjuna, very common, we are also in confusion many times in our day to day life, like don't know what to do. Few examples of our confusion. especially very much applicable to the young people, the students in today's time. Should I eat veg or non-veg? All my friends goes to party, they smoke, they drink, they have girlfriends, boyfriends, and I see many babas, gurus, so many temples of so many gods. Whom should I believe and whom should I worship? Whom should I follow? So all these all these common day-to-day dilemmas we have. So what is the solution to overcome all these day-to-day problems? So it is mentioned all these day-to-day dilemmas or confusion. You should follow scriptures and not the modern thinking or the modern propaganda which is going on in social media or TV media and so many things. So you should take guidance only from the scriptures. So what is the solution to overcome all this dilemma in our day-to-day life? Bhagavad Gita 16:24 says, Guru or devotee will advise basic instructions from scripture. So you take in case of any dilemma, confusion, doubt, you should approach devotees. Why? Because they will give you the advice, guidance, not just based on their liking or their experience, their knowledge. No, they will give you the advice based on instruction from scripture. And what is this instruction from scriptures? Nothing from the instruction which is directly from the Lord Krishna. So ultimately you are going to get the guidance from Lord Krishna himself, like Arjuna got in Mahabharata war. So what is the solution? Take advice from devotees. They can guide you basis on the knowledge of scriptures. When you talk about guidance, scripture, it means Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. So these are the three authorities to take the guidance and take the knowledge. So these three are considered as the essential pillars of true understanding to solve our day-to-day confusions. Because many times people think all the material problem solutions can only come from the material knowledge. No, you can get only the temporary solutions. If you look for the permanent solution, you have to approach to spiritual scriptures. There only you can get the permanent solutions, all your material problem also. So essential pillar of true understanding to solve any day-to-day confusion is Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. When you talk about Guru and Sadhu, it means they speak or they give you guidance based on the Shastras. Because a true Sadhu or true spiritual person never speaks based on his personal speculation, opinion, ideas. So, like I am giving you all this knowledge not just based on my opinions or ideas. Whatever I heard from my seniors in the Bhagavad Gita classes, that only I'm sharing. And whatever they have heard from their seniors, they have shared. Ultimately, they all have heard from the Bhagavad Gita book, which is directly coming from Lord Krishna. So, getting directly knowledge from Lord Krishna. And so a true sadhu never speaks based on his personal speculation, liking, opinion, and ideas. And when you talk about Shastra, Shastra means scriptures, and scripture means the statement of authorities. And which authorities? Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So when you refer the Shastra, it means you're directly approaching Lord Krishna to please guide me what I should do in my life, like Arjuna. And scriptures you're trying to understand through Guru and Sadhu. So they can make it very easy to understand what you should follow or not follow. So the best way in case of any dilemma in today's time, approach a spiritual person, Guru Sadhu, they can guide you on the basis of Shastra. Just hang on a second, please. Very sorry. So we should also take guidance from Guru and Sadhu, spiritual people, on the basis of Shastra, scriptures, Bhagavad Gita. Srila Prabhupada further writes in the purport of 2.07. He is a miserly man who does not solve the problem of life as a human and who thus quit this world like animals, cats, and dogs without understanding the science of self realization. This human form of life is the most valuable asset. This human form of life is the most valuable asset for the living entity who can utilize it for solving the problems of life. Therefore, who does not utilize this opportunity properly is a miser. So here, Shilpapad is specially focusing on the real problems of life. When you say problems of life means real problems of life. When you talk about problems of life, it could be either real problem or relative problem. Let's see our understanding on this. So here are some of the most common answers people give when is been asked about the life real problem. Uh, and these problems of life changes with the age group. Like there are different age group people. Some are in students, professional, old age. If you see these problems of life, as per them, changes as per the age group. So problems of life for students are different from the working or elderly people. So these are the most common problems which we can record when we contacted people in terms of knowing what is the real problem of life. So I request all of you just go through that. And if you're a student, just focus on your student problem, professional problem, old age problem. Just go to the chat box and type, do you think among this, what is a real problem? What is a relative problem? If anyone wants to contribute by unmuting yourself, you can unmute, tell your name and share your answers.
You are saying about problems, real and relative.
Yeah. So what do you think?
Problem.
You are in which group? Student group, professional, LLC. So based on this, do you think among this, which is a real problem, which is a relative problem?
Um, well, seems like everything is.
Sorry, your name, Prabhu, please follow this thing. Please tell your name,
Uh,
then you start speaking.
okay, okay. My name is Jaswant Kumar Prabhuji.
Okay.
Uh, Seems like all the problems are real, not seems like relative.
Okay, fine. You are in which group? Professional group or students group?
I'm in a students group.
Just student group. So as per you, all these problems which is there in the slide, these are the real problems for you, correct?
Mm. Ah,
Okay, fine. Others?
Hare Krishna, Guruji. My name is
Yeah.
Kirti.
Okay.
These all are relative problem. The real problem which is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita is like we have to not suffer to any disease, but we have to they have to come at a certain time and take away. So that is the
Okay.
real problem which has been mentioned.
Ah, okay. So you're student or professional Mataji?
I'm a student.
Okay. So you think out of these three problems, these are the relative problems for you. These are not the real problem, correct?
Yes.
Okay, good. Anyone else? Uma Devi, relative problem in students group. Okay, thank you. Others? Anyone from the elderly group, old age group? Do you think these are the real problems? Loneliness, health issues, or anyone with a working or professional life,
Ye-
relationship issues, health
Yes,
problems, stress, anxiety? Do you think these are real problem or relative problem?
it's all real relative problems and from professional group.
Okay, relative problem you're saying. Fine. Others? Anyone else?
So the relative means it's a temporary problems. Is that correct?
Correct, correct. Relative means it is a temporary problem. Maybe this
Yeah, like
problem exists for me for the time being, but not always.
correct. Yeah.
Anyone else want to contribute? Lack of, I could see some answers in chat box also. Professional. All are real problems if I think of them individually, but if I consider the bigger picture of life, all are solvable and all are relative. Correct. Correct, Gaurav ji. Okay, let's see what Bhagavad Gita says. So very categorically, Bhagavad Gita says, give the definition about the real problem and the relative problem. So what is first I say what is a real problem? Real problem is this problem exists for everyone. Whosoever you see this entire universe, they are having these problems. Other person cannot say that person has this problem, I don't have this problem. That is a real problem. When you talk about all living entity on the universe, it doesn't mean only the human beings. All living entity, it could be animal, birds, anyone you see which has life, they have these problems. So that is a real problem. So this problem is not just for human beings, but for all living entities. So that is a real problem. What are the relative problem is? Relative problem is they are exist for one human being, but not for all. So that is my relative problem, and they are temporary. So these are my relative problems. So if we try to see these now problems from the lens of the definition of real relative problem, you'll be able to uh, understand very clearly. Like in any of the group, if you say this all these problems, this could be problem for me only, not for the others. Like I may have money problem, but can I say this money problem is for all the living entities in the entire universe? No. If you go and check Bill Gates, Ambani ji, he said, I have no problem on money. So that is the relative problem. That is for you and that is for temporary, not for everyone. Correct? If you're a student, suppose you're seeking for a good job, but there are many already those students who got the campus placement, they got the offer also. So for them, that is not a problem at all. That is problem for you. That is not the real problem. Real problem is that exists for everyone, whomsoever you see in the entire universe. But that is a relative problem for you, for not them. And scriptures mainly focus on the real problem because real problem is the problem which goes life after life, life after life, life after life. And it can be never solved by the material solutions. So that is considered real problem. If you see old age, loneliness, health issues, it could be a problem for you. But can I say all the old people in the entire universe are also suffering as I'm suffering because health issues? No, some people are very healthy also. Correct. So that is relative problem for you. So this exists for you, not for everyone. So that is a relative problem. So then what are the real problems? Because as of now, in the without the devoid of the spiritual knowledge, even we all think these are the real problem because day in, day out, we always try to solve these problems only. I want to get good grade. I want to get um, good degree, postgraduate degree. I want to do MTech degree, whatsoever degree, MBA degree, all those degree. I want to get a good job. So we always think or we are tuned in such a way that we think this is the only problem of life. This is the problem, but this is not the main problem of life. What scripture says the real problem of life in the material world is to solve the question of birth, death, old age, and disease. Very painful. And can one person say this problems is for me only, not for others? No. This problem exists for everyone, whomsoever you see in the entire universe. Birth, death, old age, disease remains same for me also, for you also, for person who is the richest, Ambani also, for the poorest person also, for animals also, for birds also, for whomsoever you can, whomsoever is visible in this high universe, they have to go through this real problem. So scripture says the real problem for human being or for all the living entities is birth, death, old age, and disease. Bhagavad Gita further says in 13th chapter, one who can perceive birth, death, old age, and disease as real problem is in actual knowledge. So person who doesn't know about the real problem, and he considered relative problem as a real problem, he is in ignorance, scripture says. So person who is is very intelligent or knowledgeable or very sharp, he knows these are my relative problem. I have to address this problem. It's not like that. I don't have to solve this problem. But yes, that is the temporary problem that exists for me. I have to work on that. But I should not give my entire life, entire energy to solve that relative problem only because I have that real problem also. Like Arjuna, he was focusing only on Kula Dharma or Kshatri Dharma. Lord says, you have Kula Dharma, Kshatri Dharma, you should choose Kshatri Dharma. But above Kshatri Dharma, as a human being, you have one more Dharma towards Lord. What is that dharma? Supreme dharma. Become devotee, surrender to Lord Krishna, follow his instructions. Similarly, For relative real problem, these are the considered as a real problem. Unless you know these real problems, you are in complete ignorance. Scripture says, whatsoever degree you have, maybe you have degree from Harvard University, MIT University, IIM Ahmedabad University, but you will considered as a ignorant person because you are just taking care about the relative problem and you're completely ignoring the real problem. So you are in the same category of animals because animals also they always focus on the relative problem. Like I have just want to have my food, I just want to sleep, I want to have my family, I want to be with my children, nothing else. So similarly, but as a human being, we can understand Bhagavad Gita. They cannot understand. So you will not find in any session animals also coming try to understand Bhagavad Gita. No, not possible for them because that is not the facility given to them by the Lord Himself. But as a human being, we can understand this. So we should able to focus very clearly to solve our relative problem also. Yes, that is important. We cannot ignore them. But we should focus on our supreme dharma. We should focus to solve a real problem. Then only we will consider as knowledgeable person, and that is the purpose of life, which scripture says. So few examples of science. If you think science can provide you the solution to the real problem, absolutely no. Because let's see few examples. Science providing us with some wrong options, actually temporary solutions. So science is just providing us the solutions only for the relative problems. Till now, science has not given any solutions about the real problem because science knows science has its own limitations. They cannot give any solutions to solve the real problem. And solution of real problem is only given in the scriptures. So science just focus on the relative problem. So science says if you wish to forget your worries in life, science can give you television, internet, smartphones, alcohol, cigarettes, social media sites to help you connect with the virtual world, but make you forget about yourself, your real identity, and disconnect with Supreme Lord and disconnect to personal world. So science turning to temporary means of escaping rather than truly solving the problems of life. This trend can be harmful in the long term, even if it feels like relief in the moment. Like once we are very tense, we are very in anxiety, we think we'll have a movie, we'll have a television. So it will give you some just temporary relief, but your problem is not going to solve. So science can give you only the temporary solutions. But what about my real problems? Can science help me to solve my real problems? In fact, if you see the solution which science is giving, they are creating more problems actually, like television, internet. Maybe they are helping you in some way. It is needed. We are not saying you have to completely reject that, but just with that solution, they are creating so many other problems, like we see pollution problems, environmental damages, so many social media, so many crimes are happening. The people going to the reels and all those things. Some way they are giving the solution, but ultimately is going to harm you. So that is the science providing the solution. It may seem science providing a very effective solutions, but ultimately it is creating more problems in the human's life. Then what is the solution? How I can solve the real problem? If science cannot give me the solution for my real problems, if my own experience, my own degrees, my own job, my own money, my own family members cannot solve this problem, then what is the solution? From where I can get the solution? So solution it is mentioned you can get only in the Bhagavad Gita. So you should be very clear. I am doing these studies. I am working because I have some material needs. I have some material responsibility I have to fulfill. So that scriptures cannot help you in that. So in that particular correct attitude, you should perform your material duties. But you should always remember these material duties I am performing to solve my relative problems. But I have my supreme dharma. I have my real problem also. So what I am doing for my real problems? So real problems, I am just taking shelter of Bhagavad Gita and Lord Krishna instructions because I know as a human being, I have to address both problems, my real problem as well as my relative problem. So real problem, I am referring Bhagavad Gita. Relative problem, I'm using material knowledge. So that way you should lead your life, then it will be considered as a successful life. Otherwise, end of the day, it will be considered as a failure. So 2.10, तामुवाच ऋषिकेश प्रसन्नीव भारत सैन्योरुभयोर्मध्ये विसीदन्तम् idam vacha. O descendant of Bharata, at that time Krishna, smiling in the midst of both the armies, spoke the following words to grief-stricken Arjuna. So Prasann Niva, it means Lord started smiling. Why Lord was smiling? Because at start of the war, Arjuna was very enthusiastic because he came to fight and win this battle and to take his kingdom back from Kauravas. But now, before start of the war, because of his dilemma, confused state, now he is lamenting. He is not able to take a call whether I should fight or not fight, and he is proposing to Lord Krishna, I have to fight and I have to kill my family members, so I will not fight. And in this verse, Tam Uvacha Rishikesha. So Lord is mentioned as Rishikesha. So Rishikesha is also combination of two words, Rishikesh and Isha. When you talk about Rishikesh means senses. Like we all have our five senses, eyes, ears, nose, and Isha means master. So Rishikesha means master of all senses. So Lord Krishna is mentioned as master of all senses. He's a person who has supreme control on the senses. So when you say Krishna is a master of all senses, it means he is never influenced by the sensory pleasures like we all have in terms of lust, in terms of anger, in terms of greed, or in terms of attachment. Because being a conditioned soul, we have no control, and most of the time we are servant of our senses. Correct? Because just to uh, uh, just to obey our tongue, we always want to have tasty food. Correct? These are senses. We are giving pleasure to our tongue senses. Just to obey our lust, we are running after so much material relationship, after so many opposite sex attractions. Just to obey our mind, many times we act in anger also. It shows we don't have 100% control over senses. So can be known as Rishikesha? No, none of us. Because we don't have complete control over senses. But Lord Sri Krishna, He is Supreme Lord. Why is Supreme Lord? Because He is complete in all aspects. And that is sense control, mind control, or anything else. The Lord is Sri Krishna means He has full control. He is a master of all senses. Full control on all of His senses. Till Prabhupada writes in purport, the talk was going on between two intimate friends, namely the Rishikesh and the Gudakesh. Rishikesh Lord Krishna and Gudakesh is Arjuna. As friends, both of them were on the same level, but one of them voluntarily became a student of the other. So before Bhagavad Gita begins, now Arjuna took the position as a student in Lord Krishna and asking for his guidance. Krishna was smiling because a friend had chosen to become a disciple. So earlier position was Arjuna and Krishna both were friends. But after in the confused state, he finally surrendered to Lord Krishna, saying, I am a student, I am a disciple, please instruct me. So Krishna has become his master, Arjuna became his student as Lord of Lord, as Lord of all. He is always in the superior position. Lord Krishna is always in the superior position as the master of everyone. And yet the Lord agrees to be friend, a son, or a lover for a devotee who wants him such a role. Because Lord Krishna has a personal form. That's why you could see Lord Krishna has his own family. He became a son of Yashoda Maiya, Nand Maharaj. He has his friends. He has his devotees also. So that personal relationship exists with the Supreme Lord. But when he was accepted as a master, he at once assumed the role and talked with disciple like a master with gravity. Means it force. The discussion between always the master and the student is always the force in a commanding way. I tell you this, you have to do this as it is required, as this is needed, because we have to bring some changes in the student so that you start following the instructions. So that relationship is needed. So that's why before beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna took the role of a master and Arjuna being a student. And Lord spoke with full gravity, willful force to his student Arjuna. 2.11 Shri Bhagavan Vacha Asocyananma Sochastam Pragma Vadamasa Bhashase Gatasum Gatasum cha nanu sochanti pandita. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said. So everywhere in the Bhagavad Gita you'll find Lord Krishna is mentioned as Bhagavan because that is the position he holds. And that is a unique position which he holds, no one holds in the entire universe. That's why again and again Bhagavad Gita it is mentioned as Bhagavan. The Supreme Personality of Godhead means Lord Krishna. While speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. The Lord now took the position of a teacher, and as soon as he took that position, he started chastising his student Arjuna, calling him indirectly a fool. In 2.7, in earlier verse, we saw Arjuna accepted Lord Krishna as his spiritual master. So now Lord Krishna has a complete right to chastise his student and overcome his student mistakes. So, learning for all of us from this is like Arjuna, we also need an authority in our life to grow spiritually, who can guide us, who can support us. We should not think we will make plan as per our own experience, as per our own intelligence, and we can grow spiritually in the long term. That is never possible. That's why if you in spiritual life, lot of importance give it to the guru. Unless you get a guru, you won't be able to sustain the spiritual life itself. So, like Arjuna surrendered to Lord Arjuna, it is like Arjuna surrendered to Lord Krishna. It is mentioned we should also surrender to some authority in our life who can guide us, who can chastise us, who can tell us you are doing this wrong, you have these wrong assumptions. Start following the right way. Because many times what people feel, uh, they just come to the class, they will attend the Bhagavad Gita, and they will just grow spiritually in their life. It never happened. It never happened. It's an impractical way. So maybe it may seem like a hard, but this is a fact. Uh, if you are serious about your spiritual life, you have to take some authority. It could be anyone. It could be your father, anyone, any one person. We have to accept some authority in your spiritual life to go spiritually. Because it is the biggest mistake to think one can progress in spiritual and in the field without any authority. Like if you see in material world also, in any field, any area, whether it is sports, cricket, football, we all have a coach. Coach is nothing but your master, your teacher. In school also we had our teachers, correct? In office we have our bosses, we have our seniors. So this is the only way by which you can grow in any other field, in any other life. It is spirituality, another area. You need some guide, you need some master, you need some teacher to grow in that particular area. So Lord said uh, to Arjuna, you seem talking like a very learned person, Arjuna. Like how shall I kill my grandparents, family? But actually, you're not learned. You are a fool number one. Why? Because you are talking only on the bodily platform. You are just talking about your Kula Dharma. When you talk about Kula Dharma bodily platform, it means any relationship that exists till we have this body. If we see practically also, whatever relationship we have in this material world is just related to body. As soon as the body vanishes, it goes, or relationship breaks. So Arjuna is also talking about a bodily platform, like my grandfather, my teacher, because that relationship is there till we have this body. Once this body finishes, everything ends. Then who is my grandfather? Who is my teacher? No one else. But when you talk of Pandita, a learned person knows this body is ultimately not everything. There is more to it. Like if you see it's like uh, opening our opening our closed door of our mind because till now we just think body is everything, our Kula Dharma is everything, our Supreme Dharma is nothing, our relative form is everything. But now in scriptures, they give you so much depth of knowledge that this is only one aspect of your life. You have to take care of body, yes, but beyond body also there's so many things which you have to take care and body because if you see body is temporary and with time it gets exhausted and all living entity eventually dies certain time but a person or pandita or learned person never lament for what is not worthy of grief that is a temporary subject so if you see body also We are born in a specific time, we'll die in a specific lifespan. Temporary thing. But Pandita or learned person knows what is the real knowledge. And what is the real knowledge? About to solve the real problem of life. So that is the first instruction of spiritual knowledge, which Lord is passing here, that we are not just body. Like we have seen, our problem, relative problem is not the only problem, we have real problem also. Our Kula Dharma, Kshatriya Dharma is not the only topmost, we have Supreme Dharma also. Similarly, our body is not everything. We are more than that body. Even though we have seen Arjuna was the best archer, means he have the best skill set in his time, best warrior from a very affluent family also. He was very famous, rich, but Lord directly calling him, "You are not a learned, you are a fool, confused person." So, two questions for further discussions, which we'll discuss in detail. This is a very important subject. First, let's see how to determine if you're learned or confused person. Because Arjuna was also a very learned person, very famous one, very rich person, very skillful person. But then also Lord is telling you, you're fool number one, you're not learner person. So even though suppose I have a degree of Harvard University, I am Ahmedabad University, do you think I'm a very learned person? So let's see what scripture says. How to determine some person is learned or confused or dumb person. And second thing, the very first instruction of Bhagavad Gita, that is a spiritual enlightenment, spiritual knowledge that we are not just body, we are something more. So we'll see what is more than this body. So if you note, Lord Krishna started speaking from the second chapter, 11th verse, till till first chapter, 10th verse of chapter 2. It was only verses, all verses were spoken by Duryodhana, Arjuna, Dhritarashtra, and Sanjaya. So Lord actually started speaking from 11th verse. It means now Bhagavad Gita will actually start. Actual philosophy of Bhagavad Gita will start. And the first instruction of actual philosophy of Bhagavad Gita is that you are not just body. Srila Prabhupada writes in purport, the Lord at once took the position of a teacher and chastised the student, calling him indirectly a fool. The Lord said, "You are talking like a learned man, but you do not know that one who is learned, one who knows what is body and what is soul, does not lament for any stage of the body, neither in the living nor in the dead condition." Prabhupada further writes, as explained in the later chapters, it will be clear that knowledge means to know matter and spirit and controller of both. This is very important. I read again. Knowledge means to know matter and spirit and controller of both. It means there's two things, matter, spirit, and the controller of both. As it did not happen to a very learned man, he was consequently lamenting for something which was unworthy for lamentation. The body is born and is destined to be vanquished today or tomorrow. Therefore, the body is not important as the soul. So, all the concept of spirituality, when you talk about spirituality, means something which is eternal spirit. Spirit means soul. So, the actually topics of spirituality, Bhagavad Gita is starting from this chapter, 11th chapter. So, now the concept of soul has been introduced by Lord Krishna. One who knows this is actually learned, and for him there is no cause of lamentation, regardless of the condition of the material world. So, knowledge means what Prabhupada writes in the purport of 2.11, knowledge means to know matter and spirit and the controller of both. Who is the learned man? Who has this knowledge? So, whom can we consider as a very learned man? Who has knowledge on both things, matter and spirit, and the controller of both. When you talk about matter, it means any physical substance which has a form. Like I have a mobile, it has a form. My body has a form. My family members has a form. My laptop has a form. It means these all are matter. They are visible and they are measurable also. So anything which is called as matter, it means it has three attributes or three characteristics. It is has a form, it is visible, it is measurable. When you talk about spirit, spiritual, it means non-physical substance. It is non-visible. It is only experience. You cannot measure it. So that's why many people who are ignorant people who are devoid of spiritual knowledge, they say we will believe in God and then you show us the God. God is not God body is not made of metal. God body is made of spirit, spiritual body. So what are the characters of spiritual body? Non-physical. It's not visible to everyone. It is visible only when you get the mercy of Lord, then only you can see. It is experience. It cannot be measurable. So that is the difference between matter and spirit. So a person who is known as very learned person, he knows both things, what is matter and when is spirit. If he knows this, then he is known as very learned and intelligent person. Some example, this gentleman, Mr. Shrikant Jikar. So you could see he is the most qualified person in India. At the young age, he is holding so many degrees above, more than 20 degrees on that MBBS, MD, MBA, MA also, so many different subjects, sociology, Sanskrit, history. So in his young age, he's having more than approx 20 degrees. So as per the material qualification, he would be considered very intelligent person and successful. All will agree, correct? So now let's see some discussion, classroom discussion. Suppose the example which you have seen, Mr. Shrikant Jikar, a person having material, many degrees in his young age, can that person be called a truly learned person as per the scriptural knowledge? Yes and no. And why? So, uh, so considering that example of Mr. Shrikant Jikar at the young age, he's holding so many degrees. Whether he will be considered as a learned person, can be considered learned person? Yes, no. If you think it's yes, why? If you consider no, no, why? So means now it is open for discussion. You can go and type your answers in chat box, or you can unmute yourself, tell your name, and give your answers.
Yeah, it's no, and
Please,
only
please
with
tell your name,
the
Prabhu. Please follow the thing.
yeah,
Please tell your name
yeah.
first.
My name is Surendra Kumar.
Okay.
It's no, because only having degrees, it doesn't mean he's a truly learned person. He should also experience the soul and the other part of things.
Good. Thank you, Tom. So tell me one thing, Prabhu. Do you know about this, all these definitions before this session, or you just learn in this session only?
No,
Definition of learned person.
no, in this session only first time I'm
Great,
hearing.
great. Thanks, Prabhu. It means you have understood it correctly. That's why I asked this question. Anyone else,
Yeah,
please? Please
Uh,
participate because this is the only way you can clear doubts and you can benefit from these sessions. If you just keep
Prabhuji,
within you
uh,
only, no, you will not get benefit. Please understand. That's why I have kept these classroom discussions.
Prabhuji, can I say?
Yeah, please tell your name, Prabhu.
My name is Jashwant Kumar.
Yeah, please
Uh,
go on, Prabhu.
he is considered as a physically, ante materialistic intelligent, not
Okay.
spiritually intelligent.
Mhm. Fine. If suppose we have to ask, now you know about now you have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. If you talk about whether he will be considered a learned person or not.
Uh, he is not learned person according to the Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah. Why?
He doesn't know about the soul and spirit, where they will go after the life.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone else? Dina, if he has no knowledge of God, everything else is useless. Okay, correct. Anyone else wants to share?
Radhe 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 Hare Krishna Prabhuji. My
Yeah,
name is
please.
Maheshwari Pawar.
Yeah, Mataji.
A person having many degrees will be surely it will be incomplete without knowing our dharma, without surrendering to the God. It will surely considered an unlearned person.
Correct. Thanks, Mataji. Thank you for all the insightful answers. Anyone else wants to share? Because it's the last thing which we are discussing. I will stop here only today's session. So anyone wants to contribute, please share your answers. Okay. So we have to understand one thing. Again, I repeat this. As per the Bhagavad Gita, which our Srila Prabhupada mentioned, there are two things: matter and spirit. So, learned person is a person who has the knowledge of both matter as well as spirit. If a person he has only knowledge about the matter, like we have taken the example of Shrikant Jikar, he has just all of material qualifications. Maybe you can have qualification about MBBS, MD, diploma in this. You all have noticed when we go and meet a particular doctor, very qualified, a famous doctor. Outside his cabin, you will feel in the nameplate, he will show number of degrees he has mentioned. But if suppose he is only that material degrees, we cannot be considered learned person. So, in addition to material degrees, if we know about the spiritual also, spirit also, it is a combination of this, then he is considered as a learned person. So, a learned person has knowledge about both matter and spirit. And when you talk about spiritual, so many people talk about is spirituality. So spirituality is not nothing but the subject about the soul, spirit, and when you talk about spirit means it is non-visible, it is permanent thing. Lord body is spiritual, our body is material. That's why our body is temporary, Lord body is permanent. That's why you could see Lord present. Lord, people are worshipping Lord number of years, number of years. Our family member remembers how many years? Maybe in this generation only, new generation going to forget us also. But Lord worship is going on number of the years. Why? And even you see Lord form remain constant across the years. Why? Because Lord body is spiritual. So when you talk about spirituality means to know you are not just body, you are soul. And to know Lord Krishna is a spiritual body, I have some relationship towards Lord Krishna because he's a super soul. I have to follow his instruction and I have to become devotee of Lord Krishna. Then life becomes complete. Otherwise, it's incomplete. So I stop here only now. It's already 12:30. So I had some other things to cover, which I cover in the next. I will cover in the next session. So quick summary of today's session. What we have discussed. First, we have seen the prerequisite to understand Bhagavad Gita in a right way. There are many ways by which you can learn Bhagavad Gita. Some try to use their so much intelligence. They think they will just pick up the Bhagavad Gita and they'll learn and they will understand. All up to them. All the best of luck to them. Otherwise, the correct way to understand Bhagavad Gita, first you should clear your basics. And basic is you should very clear about the prerequisite. At least theoretically accept before starting the Bhagavad Gita that Sri Krishna is the supreme personality Godhead. Second, try to become his devotee. When you talk devotee means you accept Krishna as a supreme Lord and you start following his instructions in your life. Second, God consciousness. God consciousness, Krishna consciousness. Try to remove some time every day and give some time to connect to devotional practices in terms of reading Bhagavad Gita, in terms of visiting Lord Krishna temple, ISKCON temple, that is a Lord Vishnu temple. Go to the holy dhams and and uh, and do mantra meditations. This is the best way by which you can connect to Lord direct one to one. Then we have seen the recap of chapter one. Chapter one, we have covered all the 46 verses. Arjuna gave 4 reasons not to fight. Then we have seen the essence of chapter one or the key learnings take over from chapter one is to become devotee of Lord Krishna and God consciousness. Chapter two. Chapter two, we have again we have recap who's the supreme Lord with logic, with explanations. It's not just verbally, I'm telling you, except Lord Krishna, Supreme Person Godhead. No, we have given so many references, so many details from the scriptures. We have given the logics also. Why Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord? And why Lord Krishna is considered Supreme Lord? All other are the incarnations or the subordinates to Supreme Lord, even Lord Vishnu also. Then we have discussed why Guru and absolute necessity in spiritual life. Not only spiritual life, in any of the areas, in material world also. If you have to achieve something great in any of the area, you have to follow the instruction or the order of some guide in your life. Whether it could be your parents, it could be your teachers, it could be a football coach, you can be a boss, you can be seniors in your office, maybe your customers in your business. So you have to follow some authority. So if you are serious, you want to grow spiritually, you have to follow, you have to take some authority in your life. And then we have seen about the various dharmas. So one of the dharma which will come out is about the supreme dharma for the human being. That is surrender to Lord, worship Lord Krishna. Then we have seen what is the relative problem and the real problem. Relative problem is it exists for one person, not for everyone in this universe. And it is temporary. Real problem of life, it is remains same for everyone in this entire universe. Then we have seen who is the real knowledgeable person, who has knowledge about both fields, matter as well as spirit. That person is known as real knowledgeable, real learned person. If suppose he have only material qualification, it means he is not complete knowledgeable person. But if he has knowledge about both matter and spirit, he is known as the real knowledgeable person as per the scriptures. So essence of today's discussion is we have to focus on our relative problem also, but don't consider relative problem is the only problem of life. We have to focus on real problem also. We have to take care of material life also, matters also. We have to acquire material qualifications also, but just to lead our life, that is not a priority for us. Our priority is to grow spiritually. So we should have complete knowledge on the Bhagavad Gita, spiritual knowledge. Then we can make our life perfect. So this is a formula, this is knowledge by which can solve the purpose of life and make our life perfect. Some quick announcements. Last few weeks, I have started uploading all my recordings in the YouTube. So I'm sharing the link also, so you can go through that recording. And I suggest please go through the recording, watch number of times, try to understand in more detail. Have any questions, mail to me, contact me, and just clarify your doubts. That is the main thing. PPT also I always share in the group. Like every time, again I will share the PPT. And other thing is what I am sharing most of things I am taking from Bhagavad Gita as it is copy. So if you don't have any Bhagavad Gita copies, I highly recommend please have your own copy of Bhagavad Gita. Start reading from that. Start making notes from that. And ultimately make Bhagavad Gita as it is as your reference for the spiritual knowledge. So Q&A sessions, we can take any Q&A questions, but before that, let's go to the mantra meditation. The most important part of our session is this mantra meditation, I can say. Because this is the best way in today's time which we can have control on our mind. Because the holy name of the Lord is not different from the Lord Krishna himself. And chanting will purify our heart. We'll get all the good qualities. We'll become a better human being. It will also calm our mind. So whatever area of the field we are practicing, whether we are student, professional, it will certainly help you to have better control on life and to have a clarity in your life and ultimately to connect the soul with the divine, that is Supreme Lord. So let's start with Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Ashwina Prabhu, are you there or?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So, Prabhu, can we chant Hare Krishna Mantra for 11 times, Prabhu, considering the time? Then we'll take Q&A sessions.
Yeah, all right, Prabhu. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. So, Prabhu, we'll start with the Panchatattva mantra first.
Okay.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri
All
Advaita.
can unmute yourself and please join with us for this chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. I request everyone to please join.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Now we'll start with the Hari Mantra, Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram.
Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. ठीक है, thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So, my request, like every day, we can remove some time to read Bhagavad Gita and also to chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to the specific number of times. Suppose I take a vow to chant this Hare Krishna Mantra 10 times, 11 times, just make it habit. It will certainly help you in your life. Now, the last part of our session is the Q&A sessions. So, if you have any questions, just you can unmute yourself, ask the questions, or you can put your questions in the chat box as well.
Hare Krishna ji,
Hare Krishna.
I'm Kirti.
Okay.
Actually, I have read the Bhagavad Gita chapter 1. In
Mhm.
that, Bhagavad Gita as it is only, I have read from that. From
Okay.
page number 60, it is at text 40, text 40.
Mhm.
It says that, do you have the book with you, sir, right now?
Okay.
In that, I don't think it is like Krishna ji said that women are generally not very intelligent and therefore not trustworthy. I didn't understood this type of purport which they have said.
Which verse you are saying, Mataji? 41,
40, text 40,
40.
page number
Okay.
60, Prabhu.
Bro,
Page
okay.
number 60.
Uh-huh. So in purport, which are the line, Mataji, you are saying? Good population, human society, the basic population.
9 to 10 lines, Prabhu. Nine.
Okay, according to Chanakya Pandit, women are generally very. Mataji, what I understand from this now, maybe I will check my seniors also. So the thing which I understand, what is your question on this point, Mataji? What do you want to know?
Why this line have time at certain point, whether it is turned into L3, like is it? So that is my question. Like I didn't understand why did they say women are not very intelligent and they are trustworthy.
So, Mataji, what I understand from this, na, when you say that women are not very intelligent, it means not in terms of intellectual, in terms of academics. It means they are very simple. Means generally the male opposite sex can very easily fool them. Like we have a children. Children are also very simple people. So you can fool the children very easily. So it is mentioned that these women are generally very simple. So anyone can fool them. That's why that is the meaning of not very intelligent. Not in terms of the intelligence, in terms of intellectual, in terms of academics, not like that, Mataji. But I understand from this.
Okay.
So it's not like that ki man can only understand the Bhagavad Gita the right way, woman cannot understand the Bhagavad Gita. Not like that. Intelligence wise, intellectual wise, both are same, but generally women are more simple. So that's why you're saying that women should be protected. Like children are protected because children's women are more prone to get
But in
misused
the
by the
earlier
opposite
line,
person.
Prabhu, in the
Sorry.
earlier line, it is said in the earlier line, it is
Mhm.
said that women will not be misled into adultery. So, what is your take on this? Like, I didn't understand this verse properly.
Okay. So, Madhuri, in this main essence, but of this verse is no. So they are saying like in a Vedic culture of you see na. So women and children and elderly people are always protected. And why women and children are protected? Because very important to run our society. Women means because any new life comes from the woman. So that's why woman is very important. Children, they're the future. They are the future of generation. That's why they has to be protected. So in terms, sorry,
No problem.
sorry, Mata,
You continue, Prabhu.
okay. So, Mataji, my only, but I was saying ki in a Vedic culture, Vedic civilization, we see, na, women are giving very most importance. Why? Because they are very important for society. Like if you see in a life also, if something is important, it needs protection. Like in life, our money, gold is very important. We give due importance to them. We keep in a safe locker, we keep in a bank account, correct? So similarly, it is mentioned in society, woman plays a very important role. So that's why they need protection. Like our prime minister is a very important entity for our country. He has so much protection is there. Not we don't have any protection because not so important for the country. Similarly, it is mentioned women and children because there is a future generation and this is the woman has a direct influence on the future gen like children because children are more closer to the women to their mothers. That's why we have to give proper protection the women and children. So that it means that Mataji
Okay. Thank
in a
you.
positive way, yeah. Don't consider in a negative way. It's not like that women are inferior to the opposite one. Not nothing like that. At least in Vedic culture, women are always considered superior, not the equal also. Because not now time it is a propaganda that we are bringing women to a equal status. Now that is your thinking, but in Vedic culture is woman is always considered superior to man, not also equal, superior. That's why if you see Mahabharata war, the Bhagavad Gita which we are discussing, why Mahabharata war took place? Because they try to
No,
insult
actually,
a woman.
Prabhuji, I have thought why this verses came is that there is a there is a
Mother, yeah, I got your point. The good thing is you clarified the things. That's why I said just read Bhagavad Gita anything. If you have any questions, contact us rather than going in your own assumptions. Because what happens if you go on our own assumptions, we have limited knowledge, limited experience, we may understand the things in a wrong way. So
It
please
is no,
discuss.
Prabhuji. What I've taught is that in Mahabharata, there's a shapam. They'll say that women cannot hide their secrets for a very long time. It's like it is a like a shapam from the. So I thought it is related from this verse. So
Like, if you say the women are not very intelligent means in terms of they are very simple. That is the thing. That's why they need a protection.
uh,
When you say and psychology of women are a little different. So that's why maybe
yeah,
they're
I
saying
understood, Prabhuji.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
uh, uh,
But
uh,
don't
Hare Krishna,
think,
Prabhu.
Prabhu, just give me 1 minute, Prabhu. Let me complete. So don't think in terms of women. Women have all the qualifications, everything they have by which they can not only excel, they can exceed the men's also. Yeah, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Kirti Mataji is referring to the the sharp which was given to Kunti Maharani
Yeah,
by
that's what I thought.
she
Yes,
is
yes.
referring the story of that, but that is the different way of uh, that is a different way of
Okay,
thing. Okay, but then
okay,
whatever Prabhu Jivamrit Prabhu have said, it's absolutely from the Shastra.
okay, Prabhuji.
Fine. Okay. Thank you, Mataji, for asking this question. This is a nice thing. Anyone else? Any questions? You can
Uh,
unmute
I
yourself.
have I have doubts, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
My name is Jaswant Kumar. Uh,
Okay.
Diseases can be cured by doctors. Why it is considered as a real problem?
Sorry, come again, Prabhu. What you are asking?
Diseases, you said that you have said diseases are the real problems,
Hmm.
but they can be concluded by the doctor, can be cured by doctor.
No, Prabhu, if you see all the disease cannot be cured. Still, if you are in advanced stage of cancer, it cannot be cured, Prabhu, by any doctor.
Okay.
If you see the statistics also, Prabhu, yearly, if you just go in the Google, just find out how many people dies because of diseases, even though getting the best treatment, Prabhu. Because if you
Oh.
see, you must have noticed, you go to your doctor, suppose some person in advanced stage of any disease, doctor will say, I've done my best. Now everything on his destiny on the God. I cannot do anything beyond this. They are also helpless, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But smaller diseases can be cured by doctors.
Correct. So here we are talking about the major things which is impacting the life, Prabhu. Small is
Hmm.
like I have a cough and cold. That is different thing, Prabhu.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? Um, Lakshminath Prabhu, any question on chat box?
Uh, there is one question from Maheshwari Mataji.
Uh-huh.
Prabhuji, we can believe in every soul there is a God, but people misuse them, right?
Um, can you elaborate? Mataji is there. Mataji, can you unmute and elaborate on this? What you want to know? Because I didn't get it very clearly what you want to ask. We can believe in every soul there is God, but people misuse them, right?
I think Prabhu, she's trying to just comment.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
fine. ठीक है. Okay. Any other questions?
No, Prabhu. That's it.
Okay. So let's stop here only then. And so homework for today's session. So please remove some time during the weekdays and read Bhagavad Gita daily. Discuss. You can go to the recordings, PPT, which I'm going to share. Go through that again and again. Read Bhagavad Gita. If you have any questions, please contact us. We'll be happy to help you. And second, remove some time and do this mantra meditations, maybe 11 times, 50 times, 100 times, whatever time permit. So please do it regularly, make it consistent habit to get the effective results. And thank you all for attending today's sessions and patiently listening.